So to make a Flipgrid or to jump into an already made Flipgrid, it's so easy to do. I just love how easy this tool is, which is why I love it. So I'll put the link in, but I usually don't even type in the info part. I just do flipgrid.com and it automatically reroutes you, but it's info.flipgrid.com. And you come here, you don't have a grid code, so you're not logging into somebody's grid right now. You're actually going to just create an account. And you'll notice these grids, like the Explorer grid that I jumped into, when you have a grid link, you just go to the actual grid code link and just jump into those grids and record your responses and participate. So you don't have to have like a special code or anything to get into one of those grids. So you'll just do sign up for free. And so you'll say sign up for free. Unfortunately, I know you're shocked by this, but this tool doesn't have like a sign in with Google button, which drives me a little nuts. And so I know you're shocked that I'm even promoting this tool, that it doesn't have that. But so you'll put in your first name, last name, your email. I recommend using your Google account. So this is my Google account and my actual Google account password. You can just use the free version. That's it. You don't want to upgrade for Classroom unless you're looking at this and you're like, oh my God, this tool is amazing. I'm going to use this all year long. You can upgrade. You're going to have to use Classroom money for that. So maybe this year will be a good year to kind of jump in free, explore, see how much you like it, and then maybe next year get some friends together and do a Classroom license. And so you do this and you say create, select these, choose what you are, put in Hilton, and then your subject, and then say create my grid. I actually have an account, so I'm just going to go to my teacher login, and then I sign in with my Google account. It's the same thing. Once you come into Flipgrid, this is what it looks like. So you only can make one grid with the free account. So you'd say new grid. You'll see me. I'm getting this angry. I can't make a new grid because with the free account, I get one grid. So a grid is an overarching area where you have topics. Inside the grid, you can have an unlimited number of topics. So here's my grid. So think of your grid as like your classroom. So this could be like Miss Gilmore's class. So if I go into this grid, actually, you know what I'm going to do? I'm just going to delete this grid and make a new one. It's an old grid. Okay, so you'd say new grid, and I'm going to make my grid called Miss G's classroom. This is my code for my grid. You don't need it. You need a little purpose. It's optional. You don't have to do it. And then you have some privacy protection. I recommend taking off share links so that the kids can't share videos. It links up with social networking. If you have videos that you think are amazing and you want to share with admin or other teachers or present on, you get that from your control. I would just take off the share links. I would also take off the allow downloads unless there's something that you wanted students to do with pulling down somebody else's video and doing something with it. I'd take it off. The notifications, I also recommend turning off. Otherwise, you're going to get millions of notifications in your GA email, and you don't want that. So you get some other options. You can customize your background photo by making your own. They also have like a bunch of pre-made ones that you can choose from. I'm feeling very fall-y today, so I'm going to go with this one. But this little sea turtle is so cute. So you can customize that, and then you would just say create grid. So the grid is the bucket, and then inside the grid, you create new topics. And so that's what they're like, okay, great, this is so awesome. They also are saying, like, if you're looking for a topic to do with students, go to the topic discovery library. I'm going to X this out because I'm going to take you there anyway, but this is a new feature where they have all these topics that teachers have used kind of as inspiration for you that you basically like take and then use in your grid. So it's not a public grid. It's like a, lesson plan basically that you can use. So I'll show you that. I'm just going to say X this out so you see what the grid. So here's my grid now, and then here will be my topics. So I can add new topics by clicking on the plus sign here. And then the ideas is also it's a 30-second video that sits on the top of your grid. And so students could just do it as a quick reflection, or today made me think about, or I'm really excited to learn about this part of tomorrow. So just kind of like a quick thing. So that's it. I mean, that's how crazy it is, which is why I love it, and which is why it's part of this class, is because it's so easy to do. So I'm not going to have you create a topic yet. I'll come back and we'll do topics, but I want to show you. So this is where the discovery library and the connections are where the money's at, because I think, you know, being able to just jump in and use this tool makes it even better. So let's start with connections. Connections are those public grids, global grid connections. Connect your classrooms with students or follow Flipgrid educators around the world. Explore connections by grid, age, subject, domain, and check out our educators goal. So cool, right? So, and you can make one of, if you're a pro, you can make your grid a connection. We're not going to do that. But so like in September, they did a fossils grid, and I know it's over with, but you can still jump into these things and use them now. So like the fossils grid is just like the nature grid that Laura's actively in right now, but they did it with fossils. So it's a really cool thing. You could, I know we have some 4th grade classes that are learning about fossils right now, but there's so many different grids that you can do. So you can, there's the featured connections, and then down here you'll see you can filter by your subject or other connections. So it's Global Read Aloud Month, and we're looking for, you know, growing our classroom outside of our walls. So this is a really cool one, to create a collaborative forum for students to share their curiosities using prompts from Matt Murray's book, What If? So if I visit this grid, so this is like this idea of this global read aloud. I can go into this grid and we can see what it's all about. And then you can decide whether or not you want to participate in this grid by just jumping into the grid. How awesome is that? And now you're making global connections, and you're asking your students to participate in something bigger than your classroom. I love it. So great. So this is a huge grid. And you can see there's tons of people in here, and there's lots of things happening in this grid. So I think you should totally check out these grids. And then this is this ideas section here where you can see students doing their quick 30-second. So it's like an idea for the classroom, make more animal stuff. So that is the connections area. There's so many good ones. I actually haven't even had time in my life, I wish I did, to go further through this grid and kind of explore these. So this is, I know I have some like teachers who are looking to make global connections in the Skype class. There's all different kinds of things that you can do over here. So you can explore through. So the task is going to be to explore through this and find something that you want to participate in. Before I give you guys the task, I want to show you the Discovery Library. So the Discovery Library are templates that you can basically take and use in your classroom. So here's a giving thanks one. Chemistry poster project, how to make a turkey, your why. So you find one of these, character advice, exit ticket. You can find one of these that you want to use, and you just click on the grid and you can see what the grid's all about. How'd you get that? Teach a classmate how to solve an equation or a story problem, read the question, walk them through the steps, and show your answer. So here's an idea. And if you wanted to do this, you'd select your grid and then you'd add this topic to your classroom. And then it's your topic for your students to respond to. So it's super easy for you guys to jump in and use Flipgrid without having to do a ton of prep work on your own, because there's a lot of resources out there. So this task is to go through the Discovery Library and go through the connections and find something that you would use with your students and use it with your students, because I want to see you guys use this amazing video response tool. I'm so excited.